James, he looks fatigued. He looks out of gas. Like you mentioned 43 minutes in a game against the Atlanta Hawks.
But that's what they need.
Right before a game against the Atlanta Hawks, you're thinking, I may be able to get some time of rest in this game going into the break because I still do have to go into the All-Star game and weekend and participate in all different activities, functions, as well as playing the game. So that's gonna create some fatigue on LeBron's side. I just believe that when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, you can't panic because you still do have LeBron James and we know his track record. But you have to have a sense of urgency about who's leading this team. You have to have a sense of urgency when you step on that arena, that hardwood, and you got to get it done. Period. And I'm almost willing to lean, but I can't do it because LeBron James. And
I was in your head last night when you were watching that game.
You were in my head. I'm not gonna lie. You were in my head. I was like, Rob is gonna. There's nothing I can say that I can defend the Lakers or myself of previous statements. But I will say this: what is most intriguing about all of this is if they do make the playoffs, which I do believe they still will. This will be LeBron James, the 8th seed. You talk about getting just to the 8th seed. This will be LeBron James' first time being outed in the first round of the playoffs.
Ever.
Now,
he's missed them twice.
He's missed them. Yeah, he's missed them twice his first two. But when he's in,
right, I get it.
He's never been outed in the first round. And to me, that is going to be a dagger for LeBron James.
But this is why they were so desperate for AD. They know that the supporting cast isn't good enough. And this is what I'm gonna keep going back to. Those guys aren't good enough. Even with LeBron, they knew it. That's why they were desperate, saying, we'll give you everything we have, whatever it takes, because they know moving forward, that's why I don't believe in them. You asked me the other day, how you believe in Sacramento and the Clippers? No, I don't believe in the other guys on LeBron's team. And LeBron put an ounce of doubt in their own heads as you move forward. You could say they got to shake it off. They're professional. I don't care who you are. You're a human being. And once somebody proves to you that you don't believe in them,
then they shouldn't be professional athletes.
It's in there.
You know,
it's in there.
Come on.
Yes, I'm with you there.
Trade rumors are always
in there.
Because this won't be the only time that they're mentioned.
The whole
trade
team.
rumors.
It's not like you have one or two guys.
If anything, it drives you to prove them wrong.
I don't think so.
I don't think Kuzma's bothered.
No, I don't think.
Now, maybe a guy here or there, but that's what this break is for. Get yourself right. Everybody's doubting, not everybody, but most people are doubting Lonzo Ball. Most people are doubting Brandon Ingram. Not just LeBron, not just the front office. Go get it right. Set it right. Take forth the challenge. And look, I don't want to come off like a Luke Walton defender. I'm not saying that the guy is a great head coach or anything. And he's going to be the scapegoat. But I don't think it's fair. And to your point, I don't think he should be fired over the break. To your point, though, I don't think he'll be there next year, assuming they either miss the playoffs or make it and get bounced early by Golden State.
You said miss the playoffs? Oh, I'm getting
I'm just being objective.
All right.
And so you think what they would do is bring in Brian Shaw. You're not getting any coach worth his salt to come in at this point in the season.
Not with 25 games.
So you're right. It would be Brian Shaw the rest of the way. And sometimes a change like that, it may not be the long term, but it can get a jolt out of the team. But let me just say this about Luke. First of all, we know it can be challenging, whether it was Ty Lue, David Black, Eric Spoelstra, to coach LeBron. It's challenging because expectations rise to the roof. And he plays a certain way, and you play differently when he's not on the floor than you do when he's on the floor. And then the injuries. LeBron's missed 18. Rondo's missed 34 games. Brandon Ingram's missed 11. Lonzo's missed 10 and gonna miss more probably. So I just think it's not this to put this on Luke Walton with the mistakes he's made, playing LeBron 43 minutes last night. Get him just a break at the end of the first quarter and beginning of the second quarter, which you have. But, you can stretch out breaks for him. He's made some mistakes, but I don't think he is the number one problem.
Well, see, here's my only thing.
Team.
And I hear you. The injuries you could talk about. LeBron's back now. He's out there playing. You got Rondo back. if it wasn't for that great shot by Rondo, his first ever game winner, look where you would be. And LeBron is back defensively, like you talked about. Greg, come on. I'm sorry. You watched LeBron last night.
He's playing no defense.
He's playing no defense. That's where you can't have that and be able to win games. I don't care who you're playing. If you don't play defense, you're going to have a hard time even beating the Hawks, who had only won 18 games coming into last night.
You make a good point. And Chris, to your point about Luke Walton in sport, and we all know this. If you miss the opportunity to trade these guys and acquire Anthony Davis, it doesn't stop right there. You playing chess doesn't stop. You continue to look at chess moves, and your next move is, whether scapegoat or not, is Luke Walton. And I'm not saying
because there's nothing else to do.
There's nothing else to do. You're in a corner. You have to do something to spark some type of energy, to get some change, to shake things up within your organization, in that locker room, to get these guys to play better. And I'm sorry, I'm not saying Luke Walton is a bad coach, but he didn't get it done with them last year, which we give him a pass for that, because they still are young, but they were all young without a LeBron James. So there was no expectation. LeBron James comes in town, and now you have to figure out how to coach him, but at the same time, allow these young players to mature alongside of LeBron James. Now their playing style is completely different. Your coaching style is completely different. I get all of that, but at the end of the day, this is what comes with you guys said it yesterday, having a superstar, specifically LeBron James.
I don't think that should fall on Luke. And I understand that he will be the scapegoat, but I don't think that's fair, because it is a tall task to have this young group of guys that then you have to bring in a star like LeBron and make it all work. That's not easy to do. And like you said, no coach has had a good time doing that. And to your point about the sense of urgency, had Rondo not made that shot, they would have gone 1-5 on the Grammy trip heading to the All. That's terrible.
Right.
That is terrible. And then they come out of the All-Star break and they're going to have James Harden on their hands on the 21st. So if they're not playing with a sense of urgency, is that Luke's problem? Or
it may not.
Problem?
It's not Luke's problem, but if he maybe he's lost the locker room. If you've lost the locker room, no matter how good of a coach you are, you have to go. And if the front office has decided, we've talked about it, he's not Magic and Pelinka's man.
They didn't hire him.
They're getting some fire now.
Right.
And so they can always point to, hey, we don't have our coach. It's not our coach we hired. If they've already decided this is not the guy going forward, even if we let him go this year, he's not going to be our coach next year, then maybe you just do it now. Again, I don't think that would be the right move. I don't think it would be certainly the fair move. I think he would be a scapegoat.
And I'll give you this. I know you don't want to hear it, but LeVar Ball keeps railing on Luke Walton, and people can poo-poo him and say, what does he know? His son is in that locker room, and whether or not it's true and that guys don't like him or want to play for him, whenever you hear something and and you just wonder, that his son's in that locker room with those other players, is he just repeating it? And he says it very confidently, not like I'm guessing, but like I know that there's a problem there. So you keep hearing that. That's something that you can look back at.
He says a lot of stuff.
No, I know.
With confidence.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying in that sense because of his son.
The thing, too, you mentioned the defense. They were a really good defensive team. For like November 1st into maybe mid to late January, they were like a top 5 defense in the league as far as efficiency. And then they fell off. Defense, like we talked about their minds not being right because of the trade deadline. Offense, everybody wants to get theirs no matter what, right? Even if you're not happy with the situation, you still want to go get your buckets. But defensively, it's about buckling down. It's about hard work. It's about commitment. It's about communication, too. And that is where you could see it show up, that if they're not together, if their minds are still jacked up, that's where it could show on the defensive end. And they have plummeted to a bad defensive team over the last few weeks. Lonzo's a part of that, missing him, but there's other issues.
Yeah, I honestly, now, if we want to point blame and put fault on I fault LeBron James when it comes to defensively, because when you are a leader, when you are looked at as the superstar, I get it. You're not the two-way player that you once were. But if you're not willing to give effort,
thank you,
and you're allowing guys to just run into the paint and run by you, and you got your back to players, and they're just cutting and slashing behind you, and you're not paying attention because you're trying to look at everybody. LeBron, I need your attention to detail to be just as locked in as you want ours to be all through the game. And defensively, on the other side of the court, he's not locked in. And it's evident.
Right.
Because
and other players look at that and they go, he won't even commit to playing defense.
And I think I think a lot of it has to do with the fatigue factor. But again, you mentioned it. Defense is about buckling down. You're going to be tired. You're going to be gassed. But I still need to stop you from scoring in order for us to have an opportunity to win. And that's what LeBron James isn't doing. And when you're a leader and the young guys see that, if you buckle down, guaranteed they buckle down.
Right. Got to lead by example.
This is going to be a colossal flop for LeBron James in his first year in Los Angeles.
He's like, look at him. He's like, just be glad he didn't make you read his lips, okay?
It might come later.
It's not a pretty sight.
No, it's not. I give you divorce. I give you last night.
Look, you needed a victory. It's been a tough month. I'm happy for you. It's been a tough month.
He's happy for you for right now.
Yes.
Are the Celtics in the Sixers' heads after beating them once again last night? Don't forget, you can check us out.